What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another banger. So in today's video, we will be breaking down the matchup between the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. So this will be the third game or the third series that will start off this 2024 playoffs. And before we do switch over, I do just want to thank you guys for all the support. You guys be going crazy on the videos. I appreciate it a lot. And let's switch over and let's get right into it. All right, so we have switched over, as you guys can see. And y'all see it, man. We got the playoff bracket. The reason I like to show you guys the playoff bracket is just to show you pretty much where the playoffs stand at the moment. At the very bottom, you can see the Knicks as the number 2 seed are facing the 76ers as the number 7 seed. Now, this should definitely be an interesting matchup just because there are a lot of pieces that are missing on both sides and a lot of interchangeable pieces. There's a lot of X factors that will go into this series. So let's get into it. But before we get into it, hey, check out my breakdown between the Cavaliers and the Magic, and also the Suns and the Timberwolves. Those breakdowns are already out, so go check the channel and go check them out. But with all that being said, let's switch over so that we could take a look at the Philadelphia 76ers regular season schedule to see how they matched up against the New York Knicks. So we're going to scroll down, and y'all already know I try to base my thoughts or my opinions on which team I feel like will win just based on the data that we have here, be it stats and matchups, and also just based on my personal opinion on the team. So as we're scrolling through this, let's see how the matchups went. So we found the first matchup right here against New York, and it looks like the Philadelphia 76ers got blew the fuck out, 128-92. And this was with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid had 30 points and 10 rebounds. So with that being said, they are currently 0-1 against the New York Knicks. Let's keep scrolling down to see some other matchups. All right, so we found the second matchup right here at the very top. And once again, they lost 110-96. Maxey had 35. But other than that, they pretty much got worked. And then as we scroll down, we see the final two matchups. And in their third matchup, it looks like the 76ers won, but it was a very close game, 79-73. And during that very close game, it looks like Kelly Oubre was the highest scorer at 18 points. Right below that, it was a back-to-back. They lost, and they got blew out again, 106-79. Kelly Oubre was once again the highest scorer. So overall, they went 1-3 in the regular season against the New York Knicks. Now, another thing I do want to note is just injuries. This team does have some injuries, and I feel like this kind of screwed me over on my pick between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Heat, because I didn't know that Joel Embiid would actually play. And the reason I didn't know is because, as you guys can see, it says that Joel Embiid is day-to-day. Embiid is questionable for game 1 of the first round series against the Knicks on Saturday. So at this point, we don't really know if he will play or not. And him playing can definitely change the, outlook of this series. Also, it looks like the Anthony Melton won't be playing today as well. So with that being said, let's also take a look at the New York Knicks injury reports to see how they're doing when it comes to injuries. So we have their injury report right here. And, of course, Julius Randle is out for the season. DeJuan Washington Jr., I don't think that he'll be important in regards to this. And Charlie Brown, I don't think he'll be important for this as well. So with all that being said, let's switch over and let's take a look at the stats for the Philadelphia 76ers. So we have their stats up right here. And let's just take a look at them, man. So they do have Nick Nurse as their coach. And when it comes to points per game, they're 15th out of 30. So middle of the pack when it comes to that. Offensive rating, 14th out of 30. So once again, pretty much middle of the pack when it comes to that. When it comes to their opponent's points per game, they're 9th out of 30. So pretty good defensively on that. And when it comes to their defensive rating, they are 11th out of 30. So pretty much they do have a top 15 defense. And their offense is middle of the pack. Now, let's scroll down, talk about some of the players. So, like I was saying, we don't really know if Joel Embiid will play. One thing to note when it comes to this team that's pretty good is just their 2-point attempts. They get in the paint a decent amount they're actually 8th, so that's pretty good, but their 2-point percentage is 27, so that's something you don't like to see. They are number 4 when it comes to free throw attempts, so they definitely get a lot of fouls. Another thing to note is that they're second when it comes to turnovers, so they do not turn the ball over at all. They're definitely good when it comes to keeping the ball, and they're number 1 in steals. So overall, nice stats in regards to that. 9th in overall rebounds as well. So pretty good stats when it comes to some of the more important areas. Now, when it comes to this matchup, the players that I feel like will be the most important is Joel Embiid, because we don't know if he's playing. And I think just not knowing if he's playing or not can definitely change your game plan if you are the New York Knicks. If Joel Embiid isn't playing, that makes it a little easier to game plan on how you want to guard this team. When you have Joel Embiid, you do got to know that if he is on the court, he's definitely going to get a lot of fouls, a lot of free throws. As you guys can see, 11.6 free throw attempts. So that just goes to show that he puts a lot of pressure on the opposing team's defense. And if he's not playing, you don't really got to worry about that so much. But overall, besides Joel Embiid, I think another important factor will be Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre. But more so Tyrese Maxey, just because he will have that guard matchup between Jalen Brunson, man. He will actually have to deal with that guard matchup. And the thing is, can he put pressure on Jalen Brunson, make him work a lot on the defensive end so that he doesn't get hot? As we know, Jalen Brunson has been hot, man. He's been hot, pause, when it comes to the past couple of regular season games, and just overall, he's been, just bringing this New York Knicks team, holding them on his back. And can Tyrese Maxey slow him down defensively and offensively? Can he slow him down? So that will be very interesting. Another thing I do want to notice, the Tobias Harris versus OG Anunoby lineup or matchup. I think that should be an interesting matchup between the two teams as well. Can Patrick Beverley slow down Jalen Brunson? I think that may be his task as well when it comes to this playoffs, him trying to slow him down. So overall, I think that will be the main focal point. It's just is Joel Embiid playing, and then can the guards slow down Jalen Brunson? But let's switch over to the New York Knicks so that we could take a look at their stats. All right, so when it comes to the New York Knicks, when it comes to points per game, they're 19th out of 30th. When it comes to their offensive rating, they're 7th out of 30th. Now, when it comes to opponents' points per game, they're 2nd out of 30th. And when it comes to their defensive rating, they're 10th out of 30th. So, overall, they're pretty good. 3 of the 4 categories are top 15, which is a good thing. Their coach is Tom Thibodeau. And I just want you guys' opinion on which coach you feel like is the better coach, Tom Thibodeau or the Philadelphia 76ers coach. And what's his name, man? Let me get his name. Hold on, y'all. and Nick Nurse. Now, me personally, I think that Nick Nurse is a slightly better coach, but Tom Thibodeau, he does have a lot of playoff experience, man. He's been doing this for a while, and he's been making deep playoff runs for a while, so that's definitely something to note. But with all that being said, let's scroll down to some of the team stats so that we could get a better understanding of what this team shines in. When it comes to offensive rebounds, they're actually number 1, which is great. When it comes to total rebounds, they're 5th. Once again, that's great. When it comes to personal fouls, looks like they're 6th. That ain't too good, man. I'm gonna keep it real. That ain't too good. And when it comes to turnover, they're 15th. Other than that, they got a pretty good, solid 3-point percentage, 3-point attempts as well, rounded as well as they're 13th in the league. And when it comes to the 2-point attempts, they're 20th and 24th at the percentage. 22nd at the percentage. So overall, it looks like they're a pretty well-balanced team. Now let's just look at the players. And let's start off with Julius Randle. He's not playing, so we could pretty much ignore him. But the main topic, and I think the main or most important players, will be Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby. Now, the reason I just say that is because when it comes to Jalen Brunson, man, like I said, he's been carrying this team on his back. As we can see with the stats, 40% from 3 on 6 attempts. He's averaging 28.7 points per game, which is great. And he's been doing it all, man. He's been doing it all. Assists at 6.7. So overall, he's been doing it all. But after you look at him, you just scroll through and you don't really see too much more help. And that's why I say OG Anunoby, it really comes down to, can he be more of a scorer for this team, man? Can he be more of a scorer? As we know, they did trade for OG Anunoby and they lost RJ Barrett. And currently, as it stands, although RJ Barrett's numbers weren't that good, he was scoring a little bit more than OG Anunoby. Now, OG Anunoby, the thing about him is that he is much more efficient. He's much more efficient, as you guys can see, 48% on the field goal and 39% on 4.5 3-point attempts. The only thing out of OG Anunoby you want is for him to shoot more, man. Shoot more. You need him to shoot more. Get to the amount of shooting that RJ Barrett had at pretty much 15 shot attempts per game, because, man, Jalen Brunson, he's going to need all the help he could get. He's really going to need all the help he could get. When it's only one great player that can really create a shot, it's easy to create a defensive scheme to slow that player down. So that's what I kind of expect the Philadelphia 76ers to do, to create a good defensive scheme to slow down Jalen Brunson. And that's where you need players like OG Anunoby and also Josh Hart, because Josh Hart, he's sleeper good, man. He hasn't been having a great season so far, but he is still a pretty good player in my honest opinion, and you need him to step up a little bit more too. Also, when it comes to some of the big matchups, man, it should be interesting to see how Isaiah Hartenstein does in this matchup. It should definitely be interesting. I don't know, man. I just don't know how that will fare. Also, Precious Achiuwa. How will he match up against a player like Joel Embiid? Me personally, I think he's a little too small. But, hey, we don't know if Joel Embiid will play. So, overall, with all that being said, let's get to my thoughts on which team I think will win. So, me personally, out of these two teams, the team that I feel like will end up winning this series is, let me just say this, if Joel Embiid plays, I got the Philadelphia 76ers in 6. If Joel Embiid does not play, I got the New York Knicks in 5. That's what I'm thinking, man. That's what I'm thinking. I think Jalen Brunson will still play fairly good throughout this series. And this team has a top tier defense, and I think that top tier defense could definitely slow down this Philadelphia 76ers team. Now, once again, if Joel Embiid plays, I think it'll be completely different. I got the Philadelphia 76ers in 6. I think Joel Embiid will enforce his dominance against this team. I don't think none of the bigs can really guard him. And due to that, I think the New York Knicks will lose in 6 if Joel Embiid plays. But with all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to my motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff, and I'm out. Peace.